Okay, everybody, let's welcome the Majesticks GC to the LIV Golf London 2023 press conference. We are joined by Henrik Stenson, co-captain, Ian Poulter, co-captain, Sam Horsfield, who's currently out for injury but has graced us with his presence today, Laurie Cantor, who's in for Sam Horsfield, and co-captain Lee Westwood. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to start with Lee and Ian. So I asked the same question previously to GMAC. So it's been exactly 1 year since we were here last year for our very first LIV event at Centurion. Can you guys just reflect for me on what has transpired over this past year and where we are today, and what are you guys feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I guess 12 months in, 15 events. The golf landscape has changed a lot in that period of time. I think we, as Team Majesticks, feel, pretty happy what we've been able to achieve in that short space of time. I think what LIV's been able to achieve in that window has been very impressive. So huge kudos to everybody that's worked as hard as they've worked collectively to have this product out there for the fans, which I think is groundbreaking in a way. I think we offer something a little different, different being good, and I'm pretty excited about where it's going.
Great, Lee.
Not really a lot else to say after that, is there? Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. Feels like more than a year. Golf's changed a lot, and it's nice to see everybody starting to get on the same page and more transparency in the sport now. Yeah, so it's good.
Yesterday, you guys launched your Little Sticks Community Impact Initiative. It was really, really awesome to see you guys out there with all the kids and, giving back to the community. Can you guys talk a little bit about Little Sticks? And, Sam, I know you and Lee kind of went head-to-head on who was the better golfer with the kids yesterday.
Clearly, Sam's the better golfer, isn't he? Even injured and not playing, I don't stand the look in. No, Little Sticks is an initiative we've got. We're trying to give back to the communities we come from and the ones we play tournaments in as well. We're trying to help in areas like Newcastle and Luton, which is close to here, and Orlando, where 3 of the lads live. So it was nice to get some kids along from different backgrounds, different abilities, see smiles on faces, give them a taste of golf and being at a golf tournament, and didn't show them much of what we can do. I was pretty hopeless at hitting a tennis ball. Ian was great at being a target and putting that suit on. I think he preferred it here than in Orlando, where it was 95 degrees in April.
Suit out again, did we?
Yeah, we got the suit out again. Yeah.
You missed it.
And I think a lot of fun was had by everybody. A few of the kids said it was great to miss a day of school and come and have a day out, a day trip out. So it was
You even
nice.
had a couple of Forest fans as well.
Well, I didn't want to mention that, Ian, but
Sam, what was
unfortunately, there were
yesterday?
more Arsenal fans than there were Forest fans, which I found really hard to believe.
Sam, what was yesterday like for you, and how does it feel to be part of a team and then having the opportunity to give back like that?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I remember when I first started playing golf and having so much fun. They had a smile on their faces all day yesterday. Many of them had never been on a golf course before, so just to sort of introduce them to the game and just sort of watch them just stand there and whack balls across the green or whatever entertained them. It was really cool to see, and we did one back in Orlando, like Ian just said, and just to see the everywhere we go, to impact the community is it's really cool, and couldn't be happier doing it.
Great. Henrik, you are leaning up against this beautiful new bag I just have to draw attention to. So you have a digital billboard on the front of the bag. You guys are today announcing your partnership with Seamless Digital, the very first digital billboard on a golf bag. Can you tell us about this partnership?
Yeah, it is on. It's definitely groundbreaking and something new. Yeah, we can see now it's starting to move as well. So it's not something we've seen before on golf bags. We've seen it in their partnership Formula One cars, and yeah, it brings something special. We're excited to team up, and yeah, we'll see how many times it's going to flick around here in the next in the next minute.
So just last question for me. You guys are really dialed in as a team. I mean, your uniforms, your bags, just in the last 2 weeks, I think we've announced 3 partnerships with OKX, Red Vanley, and now Seamless Digital. Is it the magic behind the scenes? What's going on with the Majesticks to make you guys so ahead of the curve from a team perspective?
I think collectively as a group, you know, we bought into the idea of being a team. Team means we all kind of do exactly the same thing. So, but behind the scenes, James Dunkley, Ollie, and the whole team are pushing boundaries. I think more than anything else, they're hungry. They see the vision of it. That's why we've got, you know, Seamless Digital on the bag. This is, you know, for us quite an exciting project. Announcing obviously Red Vanley, OKX as well. You know, they partner with Manchester City and obviously McLaren as well. So, you know, we want to get our stuff done. We want to obviously get our stuff done on the golf course, not as well as obviously just off the golf course. So, you know, we're working hard. The guys and girls are doing a great job for us, and you know, I think we kind of stand out from the rest. We now need to take that on the golf course and make sure we stand on the podium.
Please. A few more birdies. Attention, all players.
Great, guys. I'm going to hand it over to Mike.
Lee and Ian, I wanted to take you back to a year ago, especially on Sunday. So we had one team swept the individual podium. It hasn't been done since. I was just curious if you thought that was an aberration and that we may never see that again, especially because of the depth of the roster that's come about since then.
Well, I don't think you can ever say never see it again, but it was certainly a surprise to see the 3 Stingers up there on the podium. They were clearly going to win the team event that week. They all obviously played very well, and they sort of settled into this format pretty quickly because Gracie won a couple of weeks later in Portland, didn't he? He must have felt a little bit left out, but it was just one of those things. Those things creep up every now and again, but like you say, there is definitely depth in the league and in the roster now. Since that first event we held, you know, gaining more great players all the time. People are getting used to the format. You know, the 54 holes got to come out a lot quicker now. There's no time to settle into a tournament. You've got to come out of the blocks fast and just keep going hard, as we've seen. So, you know, there's not many people, you know, win tournaments from being too far behind on the first day. You really do need a good start. So, yeah, that probably won't happen again, but never say never, I guess.
Ian?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it was interesting to see, and I think, you know, as Lee said, there's been a number of teams, you know, Torquay have done a great job. Range Goats, obviously, you know, transitioning to get Taylor Gooch was clearly a very good idea. You know, he's been pretty impressive, you know, DJ and Brooks, and, you know, there's so many good, solid teams that, you know, we stand here as Team Majesticks not doing quite as well as we want to do, but, you know, looking at all those other teams to see why they're coming out the blocks probably a bit quicker than us and, you know, finishing off a bit better than us. So, you know, there is strength and depth between, you know, all of the teams, and it's impressive to see, and it's good for the fans as well to see, you know, not the same team winning every single week.
Lauren, wanted to ask you, you're 40th in points right now, I think. How much are you kind of paying attention right now to trying to get in that top 24?
Yeah, that's obviously my big focus. I think if you can do that, it gives you that kind of peace of mind and certainty that you're going to be back in the league next year, which is yeah, obviously the biggest goal I have at the moment.
And can you talk about yesterday?
Yeah, I
Congratulations, by the way, getting in the Open. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it was a pretty long day. It's definitely the only event that I would kind of come straight off a tournament in Spain and have a pretty decent drive west out to Wales and give it a go. Especially, obviously, as you're alluding to, these events are so important for me at the moment. But yeah, it was great. I played really nicely. Hold a few putts at the end, and yeah, I was obviously delighted to get a spot.
Congratulations. And Henrik, one last question. I was wondering where you were a year ago. How much did you watch of this event? How much were you paying attention at the time to LIV?
Yeah, I was in Sweden at the time, playing an event there, and yeah, of course, it was the first event at LIV, and I was following and seeing how the guys were getting on, and yeah, I do recall 18 being a bit difficult at times. So now I'm here. It's the first time for me. See the golf course today. I'm going to go out and play 9 today, and we got 9 in the Pro-Am tomorrow. So I need to. I got some catching up to do and learning the golf course and try and figure that part out. So yeah, I did watch from a distance, and now we're here getting ready.
Okay, open it up.
Hi, Ian. Rob Harris from Sky News. Obviously, it's so much more than golf, this. We've seen over the last year you've had that insight into PIF. How do you think people should assess how PIF, Saudi, has now got this huge foothold in golf? And as a football fan as well, now football with perhaps players you might have hoped join Arsenal are now all flooding into Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, listen, it's exciting. I think when you look at the bigger picture of business and business that it is, you have to take note, how they want to not just help golf, but every sport. So from a business aspect, I think it's exciting to see them grow the game of golf, to grow football, to grow all sports that they want to grow, and we're happy to see that happen.
Should there be any wariness that you might be a sort of tool of geopolitics? Sport is just a way of actually Saudi gaining influence, or should sports people just reap the benefits?
Yeah, look, I'm not here to talk about the politics side of things. I'm here to go out there and play some good golf and deliver a great LIV product, deliver a good Majesticks product, and give something out there to the fans.
And Lee, how have you assessed things over the last year? Such a huge focus. The PGA obviously originally decrying this whole thing for morality, but now deciding to sort of join forces in this peace deal. And how do you think the peace deal will look in readmission to the PGA?
I've no idea how the peace deal will look. Obviously the PIF have made a huge financial investment into golf, and they're doing it into other sports as well. I think in golf they've almost forced a transparency from the other organisations, their finances and the way they run their operations, which has got to be good for golf, really. To have it all out on the table and people be able to see how it all works. Yeah.
As a football fan, how would you feel if all those players you might want to say at Forest will suddenly go to Saudi?
I hadn't really thought about it. I don't know if Forest are trying to sign. Not going to get Declan Rice, are we?
Nope.
Rob Jones from Sky Sports News. One for Ian and for Lee. You congratulated Laurie for making the Open yesterday. Why did you both decide against going through qualifying?
How old are you, Laurie? 33. I'm 47. Lee's 50.
I don't need to say how old I am.
It's not easy to play 36 holes. Travel back, obviously, from Europe. Obviously, I'd like to have made the Open Championship, but I'd like to have made it, obviously, through the World Ranking Points system, which we know is obviously not there. So for me, it's about having the right amount of time off to be fresh and ready to play golf. I've got a big tournament this week to play. Team Majesticks need me as fit as possible. Being 47, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I've played quite a lot of Opens. So, it's one of those decisions that I had to make, and I made the right decision, obviously, for my golf.
Yeah, I sit down at the start of the year, do a schedule. I'd seen when the qualifying was for the Open Championship. Knew this was going to be a busy week, knew that I'd played Valderrama, thought it was a good opportunity to play my first ever seniors event, and it'd be the Seniors Open Championship, which is the week after the Open. So I'd entered and committed to that. Unfortunately, the Seniors Open doesn't look to be as open as the Open Championship, so I was barred from playing in that. So now, got 3 weeks off, and then I'll go into more live events. But my idea and goal was to go and play in the Seniors Open Championship the week after. Being 50, and it'd be my first opportunity, so I thought that was going to give me the best opportunity to perform well and have a chance of winning that.
Judging by what you just said, then you feel the live competitions and tournaments take precedence over anything else in terms of your schedule now, and for both of you, will there be a tinge of sadness a couple of weeks on Thursday when you watch maybe on that first morning?
No, I don't think you can rate it like that. It's just that I knew that I was in this event, and not for sure in the Open Championship. So you've got to plan for what you know, or tournaments that you think you're going to be in, without other things kind of transpiring. So you can't always be right. There's always ifs and buts in there. But I'd planned a schedule.
Yeah, look, I've got 14 events on my calendar season. There'll be a couple of additions to that. It's a shorter season than what I have played in the past. I feel better, fresher, stronger when I'm competing here on LIV. And as Lee said, if the qualifying date wasn't the date it was, maybe I'd have qualified or attempted to try and qualify. But to sandwich 36 holes right in the middle of two tournaments that I'm working hard to play well on didn't make sense for me at the time.
To not be there though, will you be sad in a couple of weeks' time to not be part of it?
Look, I've missed lots of majors through the years. I've missed the Masters. I've missed lots of opportunities when you're not top 60, you're not in the US Open, you're not top 50, you're not in the Masters, you're not top 50 or earn it through an order of merit position to get in the Open Championship. So it's not the first time. It won't be the last time unless we can get some world ranking points and move back up into a position where I can automatically qualify.
The Open Championship is the greatest championship in the world, as far as I'm concerned. I've played 29, 30 in a row. Had a lot of fun playing in them, but as you get older, things come to an end, and you can't just keep playing. So maybe I'll try and qualify next year. See when it is.
Hi, Martin Lipton from The Sun. Henrik, you should have been 3 months away from captaining the Ryder Cup team. Lee and Ian have been huge parts of Europe's success over 2 decades, maybe more. It shouldn't have come to this. Given what's happened now, you shouldn't be treated as outcasts, should you? Or have been treated as outcasts?
Well, that's nice to hear. Thanks for the support. And things could have worked out differently. It worked out the way it did. But instead of maybe dwelling on that too much, let's look ahead at what's ahead of us and what can be instead. So still, we're in a position where we don't know too much at the moment on what's going to happen. So, we could stand there and speculate for hours. I'm not going to do that. I got putting practice as well to do. And there's others that are better at speculating than myself, I think. So I'll leave that side a little bit. But just looking ahead, I think it's good for the game where we're at the moment, when things have calmed down a little bit, and we can start looking ahead instead, and hopefully there will be a better future in that sense, and we'll see where it takes us. And we wish the guys all the best at this point, and hopefully we can all come together going forward.
For Ian and Lee, as I said, you've both been huge as well, mainstays of that team. Do you think that there can be a rapprochement, including, if not playing, but involved in captaincy going forward for you, and that would put an end to all of what's happened over the last 12 months as well?
Look, I'd like to hope so. I mean, it's been a huge part of my 20 years, over the last 20 years, playing 7, been vice captain for 1, and it goes without saying how much I've loved playing Ryder Cup. So to be in a position we are today, where the powers that be are actually trying to work things out, is good for golf. I think I've had more comments in the last couple of weeks from members at Woburn Golf Club, comments on social media that are obviously excited about the potential of what could happen. We don't know any of the detail. We don't know how discussions and the position of DP World Tour to allow us that opportunity. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we're in a better position today than we were a month ago.
Yeah, it's just we were all speculating, aren't we? Because it's impossible to know what the golfing landscape's going to look like. We didn't know that everybody had come together 3 weeks ago or whatever it was. It all changed so fast, and golf seems to be changing quickly at the moment. So we will all be guessing what's going to happen next. But like Henrik said, we'll be Well, I'll certainly be cheering Luke and his team on come September. Wear the European flag with pride 11 times, and I'll be hoping that they play great and win in September.
Does the DP World Tour have to show a little bit of acceptance of the situation by rescinding those fines and starting all over again, giving everyone a clean sheet of paper? Because maybe that would be a signal that the scars have started to heal.
I don't know whether I should be commenting on the European tours. I'm no longer a member.
That's fair enough. Okay.
I'm no longer a member. I can't comment.
But you were the fines were levied against.
Yeah, but we paid all the fines that were due.
I paid my £100,000 fine. So
don't you think you should get them back now? Because I would feel pretty pissed off if I paid a fine and then
let's
they
leave
suddenly.
that to the smart people and see if they're going to be smart.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey guys, I just had some questions about the different companies. Can you talk a little bit about seamless devices and
Digital.
Seamless Digital and Closed House, and what you're going to be doing with them as a team?
Well, Seamless Digital were the kind of brains behind the ability to just for us to be different. What they do on a Formula One car with McLaren, you've seen it a number of races just beside the driver's heads. You've got 2 areas where during a 2-hour window of a race, I don't know how many times the different sponsors that have the ability to be on that reel have, but we have the same ability today. So it's new. It gives us an opportunity to appeal to more sponsors, for us to be able to interchange that at certain times during a round of golf is exciting. There's endless possibilities, I think. So for us, to be able to one day be coming up the last hole and someone really wants to be on that bag, then, we could have the ability to do that. So it's different. It's groundbreaking. I love where their technology is. I love that they're always forward thinking and, driving new technology forward. I think that's something that LIV Golf has definitely done with the graphics and stuff that they use. And for us as a team to partner with them is pretty exciting.
And I've just a follow up. I've gotten a few messages on social about your hat, Sam. Yeah. Really, really sharp looking hat. Where can fans pick up that stuff?
Merch tent.
Yeah, in the merch tent.
The Majestic stuff isn't online?
Not right now. We can't open it right now to everyone. So until we can open it to everybody, then I think it'll be in the merch tent. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Shortening for Majesticks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Henrik.
Thanks, Henrik. Appreciate it.
Guys, you've got 3 captains on the Majestics. How does that work? Because on the Ryder Cup, you'd have a captain and 2 vice captains. Like, do you share the duties? How do you manage that?
Yeah.
Well, when one doesn't do a good job, then the other one takes over. So,
And when those 2 don't do a good job, I'll take over.
Or we could go back to that Brian Clough saying where he said we have a discussion and then we all decide that I was right.
This is specifically for Ian. What colour is London?
Blue.
that's horrible.
Blue, innit, this week?
That's horrible. This week
It looks like it's blue, Ian.
This week is blue, but every other week is red.
Fair play.
You see on the inside there, he's got a little bit of red
Just
on
a
the
touch.
inside, yeah. Just to keep him happy.
Actually, one more, guys. You haven't been on the podium this year. What are you doing to try and change that? And do you think you will be this week?
We're going to lean on Laurie this week, I think, because he's clearly got some energy left. Look at him; he looks fresh and ready to go, and he's playing great. Like we're working hard on our games to obviously be as sharp as we can. We've got stiff competition week in, week out. We podiumed last year. We want to do the same. We think it's a good golf course, just like last week was. But collectively, tiny little tweaks here and there, and getting the rub of the green and holding a few putts, is definitely helpful. So we will definitely podium before the end of the year for sure.
Good stuff. Thank you.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
Hi, Ben, Golf Lover UK. Just a quick question. It's a little bit deep, and for many of people in the UK and Europe, we can't tell the story of European golf without talking about Lee, Henrik and Ian and what you've meant to so many people. There are loads of journalists who spent 20, 25 years building their career off the back of the work you did. How did it make you feel when so many of them just turned on you so unfairly and have now tried to turn back since June the 6th?
No. I'll just sit back.
I mean, look, we've had relationships with lots of journalists for a very long time, and in the last 12 months, we've read some stuff that wasn't as nice as we thought it would be. But we can't manage what gets put in the paper at the end of the day. So, it's about us staying strong and doing what we've always done, and we'll keep a relationship. Some of those relationships aren't as good as they used to be, I would say, and that's a shame. I think that we may be in that position. My brain's not quite big enough to remember every single article that was perhaps put out, but let's just look forward and hope that in the way golf is today, and in the way that things will piece itself back together, that those relationships can grow back again. We can be in a better collective position as players, and as something that we can push out to the fans. Because at the end of the day, this is really for the fan, and I've certainly seen that in the last 3 weeks, how energized they are, how excited they are, and hopefully the possibilities of what could be, we'll have to wait and see. But from a journalist perspective, I mean, it's a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, he's right. And the press, I've got good relationships with most of the guys in this room, and they're allowed their opinion. That's what press is all about. Putting opinions out there, I guess, and conveying the facts. And journalists are allowed to change their opinions given certain information as much as the rest of us are. So, I have no problem with people, going a certain way with interviews when they didn't have all the facts, and with a certain golfing landscape, and changing their minds and going down a different road when, their eyes have been opened to other things.
Thank you.
Riath Al-Samurai from the Daily Mail. One for Lee and Ian. Obviously, a year ago, it was all quite frenzied. It's very much up in the air now. What do you want to see a year from now? Where do you think LIV will be? And one element within that, there's been a certain amount of uncertainty around Greg Norman. What's his role been like behind the scenes? There's been a perception that he's a marginalised figure. Could you offer a kind of fuller viewpoint on that?
Let's do the first question. I think it's good that everybody's sitting down now and trying to work together. I see LIV getting stronger and stronger from what I've been told from people that actually know, rather than speculating from people that don't have all the facts. With regards to Greg, he's the commissioner of this tour. I've always had a great relationship with Greg. I always take people as I find them, and he's always been great to me. He's stuck by his word with regard to LIV and where it's going, and always never kept us in the dark. Always informed of us anything that's going to happen. So I'm delighted with the way Greg's handled all this, and the way he's conveyed everything to me. And I can't talk for the other guys, but no complaints.
Yeah, I'll always take Greg as I've always found him. He's been good to me. I think he's done a great job. It's not an easy job. I think he's done a great job. And I can only comment on facts, and the facts that I know is that LIV is moving forward. It's business as usual. So for us, that's exciting. Can't speculate on the speculation that's out there, but we're full steam ahead at LIV and as Team Majestics.
Does the kind of future in terms of development for LIV, how much of that's going to be tied to player recruitment? Because obviously within the framework agreement there was a no solicitation clause in there. Is LIV going to be able to sort of maintain pace, if you will, if it's not able to continue pulling big names over from PGA Tour?
Look, I can only talk about the stuff that I know, which is LIV is moving full steam ahead. So it's business as usual. I don't know all the incidentals of the framework agreement, how that framework agreement is going to be pulled together on either party, either of the three. I don't know the investment piece of all of the three and how the evaluations are going. So it's really difficult for me, to make a comment on something that I just don't know.
I suppose just last one for me. The last few weeks, is that a vindication, or is it just another staging post and another kind of sort of raft of uncertainties?
I don't know if it's vindication.
I just think people are better informed now, aren't they? Like I said earlier, there's more transparency as to what goes on in all of the golfing organisations. So, it's not so much vindication, it's just that people know the true facts now.
Lee, you've mentioned that a few times now. Were you tempted when all this was going on to maybe speak out and give more facts out, or were you biting your tongue thinking just let it develop sort of naturally, as it were?
I don't really want to get involved in all that. We used it a year ago, but I'm just a golfer at the end of the day, going out there and just want to play golf. The politics of it all and the way tours are run, to kind of above my pay grade. But it is nice to see it down in black and white, what's been going on and how it all is run.
So with everything that's coming out, all the information that's coming out now, what's the overriding feeling from you guys? Is it happy, relief, even a sense of smugness?
No,
I told you so. Do you want to tell people that?
No, not really. I think we're happy with the position we're in and the choices we've made. And then it's up to everybody else to form an opinion on it. Now it's an informed opinion.
And if any relationships that you had with other players did change because of what's happened, have they improved in the last sort of 4 weeks, or was that not necessary?
Not really necessary. I've still have, and hope to still have, good relationships with. I haven't really fallen out with anybody. We all still talk to each other.
And Ian, I think there's a quote from you in the Sunday Times on a similar line with sort of Rory. You said nothing's changed there, things like that.
Yeah, look, nothing's changed. I mean, there's obviously been a lot out there in the media, but you know, I spoke to Rory several months ago, and my relationship with him is the same it's always been. You know, I've got massive respect for him, for what he's been able to achieve. You know, a business decision is a business decision at the end of the day, and that should never get in the way of a personal relationship. And that would be disappointing and a shame if it ever did. So, as Lee said, you know, my relationships haven't changed with any of the players. Still class them all as friends. We've spent a lot of time in the last quarter of a century building relationships, and just because you have a slight difference of opinion shouldn't change any of that.
Lee, would that transparency you speak about have arrived without a new tour, a breakaway tour?
Probably not.
So why has it taken this for that to come?
I don't know.
It's something you obviously feel strongly about, but why has it taken this for... I mean, did people inside the tours previously not want transparency? Or why do you think we're in this situation?
I honestly don't know. I haven't thought about it, but it clearly did take another tour, you know, live to form to, I guess, be a threat to the... Everybody uses this word ecosystem, don't they? Be a threat to that golfing ecosystem and, you know, establishment, and yeah, if you want to call it that, and be competition. It's been competition to existing golf bodies, I suppose.
And do you think the players on those tours are now better served by what has happened and what has emerged?
There's certainly more money come into the players' pockets, for sure. On all tours.
Okay, great. Well, it's a home
All right.
game for you guys this week. Good luck.
Thank
We're
you.
all rooting for you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks. Even the Reds, so